So Putin today did this massive press conference, right? Massive press conference, where he gave some interesting, let's say, answers to some questions. And I don't necessarily have the questions, but I have some of the answers, which are pretty wild, right? So, with regard to why he started the war, Putin basically said today, let me see if I can find, I had a longer, yeah, I can't find it. Anyway, he basically says, he says, it's things were pretty stable, and it got boring. It was boring. We needed some action. We needed some interesting things to happen. So we started a war because we were bored. Just to quote him directly, when everything is stable, we get bored. We want some action. That's a direct quote, at least based on the people who translated him, right? There you go. I mean, I don't think anybody saw that one coming. Yeah. War gives purpose to life. War fills the void. War is exciting. I mean, this is Dugin almost. This is right out of Dugin. War is, it fills the void of materialism, of boredom, of prosperity. It gives purpose to life. It's like, what's his name? Bronze Age pervert, right? He needs some mass, he needs some action. He needs some swords and go out there and fight the good fight. That's what you need. That's Putin. So don't make Putin bored. Don't want to do that. What else did he say? He said at some point, he said, look, I can play it to you in Russian, but here's the translation. He said, I've got a proposal to make the West. Let's do an experiment. Let's do a trial here to see whose technology is better. We can pick a target. Let's say the target is Kiev, right? And the West can put all their high-tech anti-missile defenses around Kiev. And we will launch our new state-of-the-art hypersonic ballistic missile. And let's see who wins. It'll be interesting. Let's see who wins. I mean, that's what he says. We'll see what happens. We're ready for such an experiment. He wants to run this experiment. And he says, in any case, we won't exclude it. We will conduct such an experiment. It's interesting, he says. People die? What the hell? But we'll show them that our missiles are better than their air defense systems. I mean, this guy's delusional, insane maybe. I mean, he's delusional. He's really crazy. And he's like, I get it. I mean, him and Donald Trump, it's the same kind of character. It's just Putin says it with more dignity, and he's more articulate, and he's more cool-headed about it. But he says the same insane things. He's obviously more extreme than Trump. Trump wouldn't even say this. And then he was asked about Syria, and he says, we didn't suffer any defeat in Syria, and we've achieved our goals there because the factions now in power which he used to call them terrorists, now they're factions, actually are very moderate. And we want to send them humanitarian aid via the military bases that we want to keep. Also, we couldn't do anything because we didn't have any ground forces there. There have been ground forces there for years now. But so he's denying defeat in spite of the fact that they were defeated. He's denying that they suffered a real loss here. They've had to move a lot of their equipment, people from the bases in Syria to Libya, where they have a presence. So that's anyway, I just thought, I'm sure there are more gems. I'm waiting to find video or translation on more of the interview. Somebody asked him if he felt like today Russia was in a better position than it was when he took the reins from Boris Yeltsin in the late 1990s. And he kind of went all over the place with an answer, and he never really answered that question. He did acknowledge that inflation was pretty bad, but he said they were going to fight it, they were going to get it under control and not to worry. It was really interesting, the parts that I could get translated.